r/MaliciousCompliance, giving my daughter exactly what she wanted. In a quaint little town, there lived a father named John and his 13-year-old daughter, Emily. They were a loving, albeit somewhat peculiar, pair. Emily was known for her persistence and her very particular way of asking for things. She had a habit of being excessively specific about her requests, often leading to humorous misunderstandings. One sunny Saturday morning, as John was sipping his coffee, Emily bounded into the kitchen with a gleam in her eye. She was holding a piece of paper that she handed to her father. "Dad, I've made a list of everything I want for my upcoming birthday," Emily declared. John took the paper, glanced at it, and chuckled. The list was meticulously detailed and included items ranging from the latest gaming console to a specific brand of glittery unicorn stickers. But what caught John's attention was the final item. John knew that his daughter had a vivid imagination, but asking for a dragon was quite the leap. He decided to humor her and said, "All right, Emily, I promise to get you everything on this list, including the dragon." Emily's eyes lit up with excitement as she believed her father had given in to her fantastical request. Little did she know, John had a plan of his own. Over the next few weeks, John embarked on a mission to fulfill Emily's every request to the letter. He bought the gaming console, the unicorn stickers, and even the specific brand of glittery pens she had asked for. He made sure everything was exactly as described on her list. Then came the day of Emily's birthday party. Friends and family gathered at their home, eagerly waiting to see how John would present Emily with the dragon. As the time for gift-giving arrived, John had prepared a dramatic unveiling. He stood in front of a large, mysterious box covered in glittery paper and held a ribbon-tied scroll. "Emily," he began with a theatrical flourish, "I have fulfilled your every wish on your birthday list. Now, as promised, here is your dragon." Emily's eyes widened, and she rushed to open the glittery box. She carefully unwrapped it, revealing a tiny, adorable stuffed dragon toy. It had big, innocent eyes and soft, plushy wings. Emily looked at the toy, puzzled. "Dad, this is not a real dragon." John, with a grin on his face, handed her the ribbon-tied scroll. "Ah, but you asked for a dragon, and here it is, a dragon, just as you specified." The room erupted in laughter as Emily realized what her father had done. She couldn't help but join in, realizing that her overly specific request had led to a humorous and unforgettable birthday surprise. From that day forward, Emily learned the value of being careful with her words and not taking everything so literally. She also cherished her stuffed dragon, which became a symbol of her father's clever sense of humor and his love for her. And so, in the town of whimsy and humor, a father and daughter continued to share their special bond, creating cherished memories through the art of malicious compliance. Let's check today's another story. The subversive employee. In the heart of the bustling city, there was a corporate giant known as Omnicorp. This monolithic organization had a reputation for its strict rules and bureaucracy. Employees were expected to follow every policy and procedure to the letter, no matter how absurd or counterproductive they seemed. At the center of this corporate maze was Alice, an intelligent and creative young woman who had been with Omnicorp for several years. She was known for her innovative thinking and her willingness to challenge the status quo. However, her rebellious spirit had earned her a reputation as a troublemaker among the higher-ups. One day, the top brass at Omnicorp decided to implement a new policy. All employees were required to wear a bright red, oversized clown nose while working. The rationale? It was believed that wearing these comical noses would boost employee morale and creativity. Alice was baffled by this absurd directive. Rather than protest, she decided to embrace the new policy with a twist. She didn't just wear the clown nose, she became the office clown. Every day, she donned her red nose, put on colorful wigs, and painted her face with exaggerated clown makeup. She walked around the office on oversized shoes, honked a horn at random times, and distributed balloon animals to her colleagues during meetings. Her antics initially drew bewildered looks from her coworkers, but soon enough, they started to see the humor in the situation. Morale in the office did improve, but not in the way the executives had envisioned. Instead of making people more productive, Alice's clownish behavior created a lighthearted atmosphere that allowed her colleagues to distress and actually become more creative. The higher-ups at Omnicorp were initially pleased with the newfound cheer in the workplace, but they soon realized that productivity had not increased as they had hoped. They called Alice into a meeting to discuss her malicious compliance. Alice, with her red nose still firmly in place, confidently entered the meeting room. The executives demanded an explanation for her behavior. "Well," she began with a grin, "you asked us to wear clown noses, so I decided to be the best clown I could be. I wanted to make everyone laugh and enjoy their time at work, just like you wanted." The executives were torn. On one hand, Alice had indeed complied with their directive to wear the clown nose. On the other hand, she had exposed the absurdity of their policy and turned it into something positive for the employees. In the end, Omnicorp decided to embrace the unintended positive consequences of Alice's actions. They dropped the clown nose policy but encouraged a more relaxed and creative atmosphere in the workplace. Alice, the subversive clown, became the unofficial morale officer and was celebrated for her ability to turn an outrageous directive into an opportunity for fun and camaraderie. And so, in the corporate world of Omnicorp, a lesson was learned: sometimes the best way to deal with ridiculous rules is not to rebel against them, but to follow them in the most absurd and creative way possible, leading to change from within. Today's story ends here. We'll meet in the next story.